Facebook fans, Walt Cooley, editor of Progressive Dairyman magazine. We're here for another issue reveal. This issue will be your October 1st issue. Should be in mailboxes soon. For this issue, the cover story is of a dairy in Mountain Home, Idaho, TLK Dairy, and we're talking about their new indoor feed mixing center. It's so innovative that we wanted to show you some of the pictures and video, as well as we created an animation to explain what happens in this facility. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks.
Let's start where the mixing process begins. The purpose of this first station is to mix premix. By the time the mixer arrives, ingredients have already been loaded into the batch box, and they're dumped from the batch box into the TMR mixer. Now, inside the driver's cab, there's a countdown clock that indicates how long that mixer should be mixing for, and that mixer will remain there until that clock has ticked down to 0. After the allotted mix time is done, the mixer will pull out and head on over to the premix storage bin. The mixer will back up and unload its contents, and it's really interesting to watch this happen, but it's unloading as fast as the TMR mixer is allowed to mix, and it'll unload in that bin. And meanwhile, while all of this is happening, silage trucks are bringing in silage from sites outside of the dairy. This particular dairyman chooses to store his silage next to the fields where it is harvested from, knowing that he's going to have to bring that silage to the indoor feed mixing area anyway. So the silage gets stored next to the field at field side piles and then is hauled to the dairy when it's ready for feeding. An interesting side note about this dairy is that it's near an Air Force base, and the dairyman says that he can often get deals on used tractor trailers that work well in the Idaho winters, and it's interesting to see those driving around the dairy. You can see that there's an extra loader sitting there inside the building, and that loader is used for pushing up the silage that's being delivered from the field side piles, as well as that premix that got unloaded by the mixer, so that it's nice and neat and pushed up into a pile for loading into a ration. As we get back to following the TMR mixer as it pulls out of the premix commodity unloading area, it's next going to pull in front of one of these batch box stations and receive the contents of one of the bins. Each commodity has been loaded into the batch box bin in a specific order, with forages and hay going on top. One of these two bins will be hydraulically dumped into the TMR mixer, and the one bin that is not dumping is being loaded for the next TMR mixer that will follow. That leads us next to the raceway. As you can see, between the two lines of horizontal bins is a loader that's going back and forth, loading commodities. The dairyman has his best feeder doing this job. Basically, it's grabbing commodities and loading them in a prescribed order to build the rations. The dairyman is most pleased with this because it allows his most accurate feeder to be doing this task, as opposed to spreading that out amongst multiple feeders. There's only one loader operating in this racetrack, so as to be able to load commodities quickly without having to worry about colliding with any other vehicles. The loader is the only one that's operating in this defined space inside the indoor feed mixing center. Finally, all of these operations can remain uninterrupted because of an overhead commodity delivery bridge. Delivery trucks approaching the facility use a garage door remote control to open the door to the facility. They pull over the bridge over the top of the bin containing the commodity they are delivering and unload the feed. This allows deliveries to not interrupt the feeding operations that are occurring below. When the truck is done, they pull out and the delivery is over.